What was Zola like on the training field when he was manager?
I'll tell you what, right? I've got a story for that, right? So obviously we had Craig Bellamy, we had James Collins, we had a load of like proper senior pros. Obviously Scott Parker, a few boys in the team at that time. Matthew Upson as well, and I'll say Matthew Upson for a reason. We used to obviously train, so we're going out for training, and then he used to muck in as well. He used to come in and train with us, and he was just still unbelievable. A level above everybody that was there. And he put a few players on their backside, I'm not going to lie to you. And we needed to win the game on the weekend. And then I think Craig Bellamy went into the office and said to him, listen, Gaffer, you can't be coming into training and you're just demoralising our defence at the moment. So the things you can do. So I'm looking at him. I'm thinking I can't do what he does. So I'm going in within myself too. So I can't really. This geezer's world class. I'm not as good as that. So obviously I'm going into the game thinking I'm not good enough. Do you know what I mean? So that's why. So he kind of had to stop training because Bella's went in there.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
Bella's went in there and said you can't train with us because you're too good.
You're too good.
Yeah, still at your age, you're still better than everyone we've got here.
When you moved to Chelsea, November 1996 it was, Gianfranco, did you feel you were ready for English football? Was that a move that you pushed for yourself?
Well, it's something that I wanted to do, for sure. It was in my idea to have an experience abroad. Probably I didn't expect to be that year. I think it was a good time, also because I came from the Italian league, and that moment the Italian league was the strongest around.
Yeah.
So they, in my opinion, gave me an advantage. I came with a very high preparation, physically, technically, and tactically. So they gave me an edge. The only reserve or doubts that there were is because of the physicality of the league. So a lot of people were doubting whether I was going to be successful because of that. And also I was playing as a striker, and so a lot of doubts said, no, he's too small. They will throw him out of the pitch. These are the kind of things that I was hitting, no, when I first came.
Yeah.
But it was good for me. It was a good challenge. It made me better. I had to change my game and to adapt to the Premier League, and it was very, very good, very positive.
Aside from Chelsea, there's a lot of things that link you to men that you might not be aware of. You played, John, under Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah.
And so did Gianfranco Zola. Your final few months with Parma, was there a falling out there, Gianfranco? Did you and Carlo see eye to eye? Obviously, I know Enrico Chiesa was coming through, Hernan Crespo as well. How did that relationship with Carlo and yourself end at Parma?
No. We never had any problems between him. The only point was this. I think Carlo, when he first came to Parma, he was a different coach than he was when he was at Chelsea. First of all, I think he was more. He was at the beginning of his experience. I think it was the second year he was coaching, and he was more. He related a lot more to the system, right? He was obviously he was Sacchi was his mentor. Arrigo Sacchi was his mentor.
Sacchi, yeah, okay.
And he played for him and he worked with him and with the national team. So everything he was doing, it was related to the system. So all the players, they need to fit into the system. And so therefore, when he first came to Naples, to Parma, we had. I was already there, and then Enrico Chiesa came, and Hernan Crespo came as well. So in order for me to find, or in order for Carlo to fit all of us, he had to change position to one of them. And I was the one probably he thought, because of the qualities, he could adapt in a different position. And so therefore, we tried, the first few months, but it didn't work. To be fair, I wasn't not at the best period myself. I wasn't playing very well. So this, took us to the point where we made a decision. But with Carlo, we we spoke a lot about that. Never had a problem with that. I wish that Carlo could have been the same coach he was with Chelsea. I'm sure that he would have found better solution to fit all of us in.
Yeah, you've said on this
That's the only
podcast,
reason.
you loved him.
I think Franco can also agree on that. I think, he's a really, really good man management when it comes to man management. I think that's something also that he became much, much better. The older he he became much better. The longer he stayed at the job, coaching and getting to know how to deal with players, he became much, much better at being, managing players. But that was something he was really, really good at when he came to Chelsea. I think everybody that played under Carlo, we all absolutely loved him. Great guy.
During this time, and my perception of you is that you are a very affable, very amenable, very pleasant, good-natured person. All of those attributes.
Not all the time, Simon, I can promise.
No, I'm sure you're not, but that's my impression of you, which don't seem the ideal traits to become a football manager. You move into football management.
Yeah.
Was that always something you wanted to do? Was it a necessary progression or natural progression?
No, it wasn't at all a natural progression. For when I retired for 1 year, I didn't do anything, and it was not my intention to do anything as a coach, because I didn't think I had the skills to do that. Whether I was right or wrong, I don't know, but I didn't want to do that. I was asked to do 1 year later than I retired. I was asked to be the second coach for the under-21s along with Casiraghi. And just because I was asked by a friend who was Demetrio Albertini, and there was another friend who was Gigi Casiraghi, I did it. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably didn't even start to do that.
But you also, in your management career, and we'll pick them off, as I said at the beginning of this introduction, you had 3 challenging ownerships. In terms of, you go into West Ham, you go to Watford, and you go to Birmingham, and each one has a different reason for its own challenge. But you go into West Ham, you start brightly, but there's a change of ownership. And God rest his soul, David Gold. But it's a change of ownership, it's a change of style. As I said to you a moment ago, I'm very well versed in David Sullivan and David Gold from their time in Birmingham. How was that relationship for you from the outset? I mean, I think they came in talking about Zola's not going anywhere. We have ambitions of being a Champions League side. And that relationship develops how for you?
I don't know. I remember, I think all started where I think the second year we were going through difficult problems, difficult moments. We were not performing as well as we did the last year.
Right.
We had to sell important players like Craig Bellamy, and people that they didn't perform as well. So we were going some problems, but obviously the new ownership were close, and at the same time, sometimes...
But they're also coming out with things like, you're too nice to deal with the rigors of football. That's not hugely helpful, is it?
Yeah, they were telling sometimes that I was too nice, and they were criticizing the player that they should do more. And I really openly criticize David Sullivan for that, because I said, well, I mean, whether they are good or not, we need to do the war with them. So it's not necessary to criticize them too much.
But what about the too nice comments? I mean, I said it to you at the beginning of this section. I said to you, for me, you're a very pleasant, affable, amenable, amiable, good-natured person. And these aren't the traits that often are the cases with managers. He's working with you and he's saying, you're too nice for the rigors and the brutality of the football management world. I mean, how does that can't sit very well with you?
No, I didn't like him. I didn't like very much, and I still don't like. It's everyone deals with his own abilities. I think I can be the best way to deal with the players is to be yourself, and you being yourself, you have some things that the players may like. Some that they don't like, but in general, if you are yourself, they respect you. And I think that sometimes the team didn't play well, but the respect that they had for me it's never been in doubt. And the respect I had for them obviously was the same. So, and they appreciated that. If I was being something different, I think I wouldn't have been so effective.
You leave West Ham, right? The relationship goes the way it goes. From you being their man.
Well, Sullivan, forgive me if I interrupt you.
No, you go.
He's been very critical, and sometimes, one time, very, very unfair, and he lacked a little bit of class when I was struggling with another team, and he was criticizing still my decisions for what I allegedly I did when I was playing when I was coaching West Ham, and I think it's been very unfair. And never replied to him publicly, but it is an opportunity. So, I understand he's got his own agenda, his own way to
I
do
can
things,
trump
but
that. I can trump that because of my battles with Sullivan. When my team were at the top of the Championship, getting promoted to the Premier League, and his team Birmingham were getting potentially relegated, he went out in the papers, him and David Golden, said, if there's a God, there's no way Crystal Palace will get promoted and Birmingham will get relegated. So we have similar experiences of perhaps not the most classy of observations.
Well, maybe he forgets that when I was at West Ham, we struggled the second year when they were the owners. But in the end of the day, we stayed in the Premier League. 1 year later, they got relegated.
Yeah.
So in the end, I think, and nobody, I think myself, I didn't criticize. I was actually very disappointed because they went down. When he came out with some comments when I was struggling with Birmingham.
With Birmingham, yeah.
It was very unfair, and I think completely out of place.
For now, there is just another nod to Diego Maradona. Gianfranco, that was your first season in Serie A. You came up from Serie C, then suddenly you're teammates with Diego Maradona and so many greats. I mean, what was it like for you playing on that team?
For me, it was a dream, first of all, obviously, because I was coming from third division team to the Serie A, and I was among the best players in the world, because in those years, Maradona, Diego, and Careca, another fantastic player. Sometimes it's been, put a little bit behind in terms of consideration, just because Diego was so big, so they was outshining everybody else. But I can assure Careca, I haven't seen many players as completely as him. He was very modern. He could link play, he could attack the deep, he could score right and left. So he was so complete. For us, it was fantastic to have him. So for me, it was the best thing. I was very young. I wanted to learn, and I was learning from the best. Simple as that.
In my opinion, when I see that team, when I meet guys like Gianfranco, also to win in football, you need personality, you need character. When you think of those players, when you think of Maradona, the big conversation, who's the best player in the world that ever played, Maradona or Messi? Everyone says, most people say Maradona because the personality, the character. You think of Ciro Ferrara, Gianfranco, big personalities, big characters, even off the pitch. I think that's an important piece when you put a team together.
Mike, I tell you, I can tell you stories where in those years they were like players like Platini for Juventus playing, and also they were Gullit or Van Basten. Everybody, when they came over here, they were asking autograph or they were asking the shirt from Maradona. Yeah. So even top players like that tells you how big.
And also Maradona, when he prepared for games in bed at 8 o'clock, right? Early, never going out. Is that accurate?
I can't promise on that.
What was it like, though, behind closed doors? Because it was magic watching that back, and for the fans here that seem to relive those moments. What was it like in training with that group, though? Because it feels like the chemistry carried on and off the pitch.
No, it was amazing. I cannot tell you how many times we stopped the training and we start clapping about what Maradona was doing on the pitch. It was amazing. But what people they don't know about him is that he was such a good guy, good heart, the heart in this play. I remember one story, he was reminded to me by a friend of mine. I came there, I was a young player, and there was another young player, Tarantino. We were the bottom of the team. But he protected us with he made us get the money for the bonus from the Scudetto. We were not part of it. He insisted until we were paid like everyone else. Wow. We were just two young boys, not not very important. He fought the club in order for us to attain the prize. That tells you what Maradona was in terms of personality and heart.
And to make everybody feel included, and I think that's the thing that a lot of people remember him from, is how connected they felt to him, even if they didn't know him personally, just through his love of the game. When you're walking around Naples, does it bring back a lot of memories for you about Maradona and about that special team that you're a part of?
Everywhere you go, you see his picture, and I can tell you the story of the i quartieri, no? The quartieri spagnoli. I think people, they're making a lot of money from Maradona's museum on the outside. So in a way, Diego is still giving something to this city, and this is an amazing story.